Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for Civilization 6. Continue our game as the Maya. We got basically all of our cities down that we're ever going to have, probably. I mean, I suppose there's always a chance we can go to war and conquer some other cities and stuff, but they would be outside of our 6-tile radius from our capital, so they would, even though they'd probably still be better than nothing, they would have a little bit of a penalty to their production. So I'm pretty happy with the way things got set up. Honestly, we got 10 cities. I think the most you can have, including your capital, within this radius is 13. So we only missed it by 3, which isn't too bad. So really, at this point, I think our biggest goal is to just kind of settle in and just improve our infrastructure, which is it's kind of unusual for me. I usually don't have, the cities laid out, that I'm going to have for basically the entire game this early. I feel like this is actually relatively early, so we're going to be able to really just settle down and just completely focus on our infrastructure as we push towards very most likely a scientific victory. So I'm just going to check something. Let's check our empire stuff. Just want to check some of the adjacencies here and see like how these things are adding up. So we got 2 from plantation and 1 from the adjacent farm. We do have a district over here, so in theory, if we put a farm here, this one should go up to 4. But I did see a comment on online that said somebody said that they didn't think that farms from other cities actually counted. Although if we look here, we see 2 from the plantation and 1 from the adjacent farm. So it has to be that the farms do count, because there's the only farm that's next to this that's there's only one farm, I should say, next to this one that is part of this city. The other farm here is part of a capital. But these 2 are counting towards giving an adjacency. So that's good to know. I was afraid that was going to be like a thing, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's terrible. Like, that can't do that. Thankfully, that is not the case. So, all right. We do have an aid request for Cree here, and we would like to get them kind of happy with us and on our side at some point, although they are a little bit further away from us than, either England or India here. So, not as big of a deal. I mean, at some point, we probably want to get England on our side, although they're a little bit smaller. A little bit weaker, so I'm not too worried about them at the moment. What we could do is we could save up our money to send here as an aid request, kind of to finish it off. Somebody's already got 652. England's already got 652, which would be kind of hard for us to catch up with, to be honest. But we'll try. We'll see what we can do. I'll keep that in mind, and we'll kind of go from there. But yeah, we are working on several builders all over the place. Do we have the Civic that's going to give us a boost to 2 builders? One thing. Wrong thing. Go to the government. Yes, 2 extra actions for our builder. So that's going to be really helpful, I believe. Medieval farms. I just want to make sure. It's been a while. The last time I played Civilization, I was actually playing some episodes on my Inca playthrough. So I'm trying to remember where I left off here. Ironically, which is a little bit unusual for me, they're both kind of going for the same victory type. We're going for a Signs of Victory primarily for Inca with a backup of Diplomacy. And here we're probably going to go for Signs of Victory as well. So a little interesting to have both of them, both my playthroughs going for the same. We're definitely going to have to do a Grand Columbia playthrough after this to get back into the combat swing of things. Some housing issues up here. Let's see here. So you do have housing issues. Not much we can do to fix that right this second, though. Other than, obviously, popping out a builder to run around and set up farms and things of that nature. Which might not be a bad idea. So we have the thing. It's giving us a boost to builder charges. Probably a good idea to get as many of those out as possible right now. You just locked down a plantation here. I'm just giving that one a little bit of stuff. We need another plantation over here, although we would have to buy that tile. And I'm not sure if I want to do that. I'm trying to save my money a little bit right now. Could come down here and plop some farms down. I mean, not farms, or mines down. That would actually be some pretty decent mines. And would help this city with a little bit of extra production, which would not be a bad idea. Let's do that. Let's come down here and pop a mine down here. Get something going in that regard. I'll have access to knights, although don't know that we're going to be training any right now. Oh, I forgot about this city potentially swinging over to our side. I mean, it is going to have a reduction. We can already see that minus 15%. But, I mean, if you think about it, a free city, even with the penalty, it's going to be better, right, than no city at all. I mean, I would think this has got to be better. So I think we will keep the city. I mean, why not? Sure. I mean, this will be our first city to have that doesn't have the bonus, but it's still going to be able to have a nice observatory. And Let's see, do we have any plantations nearby? Not cocoa, right? Can cocoa be a plantation? And there's farms over here. I think it can be, right? Cocoa's a plantation, isn't it? So we could potentially put a observatory down that way, or we could put one up here by this this bananas. We have some options, so we definitely have some options here. Kind of would like to plop that observatory down there, to be honest, but don't really want to spend the money right this second. So probably what we're going to do is we're just going to have you work on a builder to start improving some of this stuff for now, and then we'll swing back to maybe the observatory after we get a little bit of growth here. We only got 2 housing. Scratch that. We're going to do the granary first, and then we'll come back to that. All right. Science. We definitely want to try and get as many boosts as we can get, even stuff like that one that's basically done, if possible. Now, obviously, if we run out of things to go after, we'll just have to finish those off anyway, but I'm hoping we can capitalize on as many boosts as possible. How are we doing over here? We are currently a golden age. We are a long ways away from another golden age. We have a few turns, but I have a feeling we're going to be stuck in a dark age this next go around. 6 turns left on the aid request. We'll have to consider that here in just a moment. Guess nothing going here. We got your observatory about to be popped out. Several builders popping out here soon. I mean, they're so critical to the strategies for Maya that that's just going to be a non-stop thing until we get all the tiles improved the way we want them to be. With as many jungle and forest tiles as we have, though, I have a feeling we are going to have a lot of chopping and things of that nature. Violent Storm is not near us at the moment. Friendship expired. We will continue the friendship, please and thank you. Keeping Zulu on our side would be really, really good. 4 science library here. Housing is so bad right now, though. I think we have to do the housing first. We could start popping down some aqueducts as well. I mean, they're still useful, and we may switch over to doing some of those after we get done with the granaries first. Speaking of aqueducts, your housing's almost capped out as well. I mean, we can definitely pull up down a pretty decent aqueduct here. Honestly, even this tile right here. It's still going to give us, you know, the full 6 housing because it doesn't have access to fresh water, which is pretty significant. I'm leaning towards that. I mean, I do want to get my observatory down as soon as possible, but I don't even remember where we're going to put an observatory. It was going to be up here next to the bananas, I think. So a aqueduct down here would probably be a really good idea. Let's do that. We're housing capped. Let's start plopping down aqueducts like they're candy. I don't know where that phrase comes from, but we're going to be plopping down aqueducts like crazy right now. And take advantage of the fact that all of our aqueducts should be +6, because I don't think... I'm assuming that even if we're next to a river, we don't get the benefit of being next to fresh water, so therefore all of our aqueducts should be +6, I think. And I guess we'll find out. You're not next to fresh water, so you're not going to be a good experiment, but some of these other ones could be. Yeah, I mean, setting up the deer over here wouldn't be bad. Doing the plantation up here would also be good. Let's start with the deer. I mean, getting a little bit extra production is always a good thing. Governor established in Chichen Itza. What was I doing with the governor here? Reina. What was Reina doing over here? I actually don't remember. I think I just stuck her there to have her there. She's not promoted up enough to be able to buy stuff yet now. She's just there to help us, I guess, acquire land and get a little bit extra gold from trade routes potentially at some point. Yeah, we should be able to have aqueducts in most of our cities, although it does take up pretty useful tiles next to our cities, so we'll have to be careful with that, but I'm hoping we can have plenty of them. New city-state, storm rages on, still not near us, that is good. Let's look at the city-states, anything here. Eureka for military tactics, construct an encampment, great rider, and another encampment. You know, I mean, for the sake of getting some free ones of these, that might be the only reason we plop down an encampment, but we'll have to see. Currently working on an audience chamber. I think this is the one that gives us extra bonuses if we have governors, isn't it? Sanskara. You can upgrade to musketmen, get quarry improvements, get +1 production, production, which is really useful. Yeah, this is the one that gives us +1 amenity and +3 housing. That's really good for cities with governors, which all our cities won't be able to have governors, but we should be able to have, you know, enough. We're kind of running out of things that can be boosted, aren't we? Or that we can research that aren't boosted currently. We're definitely going to have 2 universities, so I got to make sure I remember to swap off of that as soon as possible. Once this builder comes out, we'll be able to hook up a couple of sea resources, get that boost, and kind of go from there. Builder is done here. You are definitely still housing capped. We do not have a suitable location for an aqueduct in this city, unfortunately. So this city's just going to have to deal with the fact that it just won't have that. Tempted to do monument, something like that. I don't feel as critical to do the walls, but probably a good idea eventually. I need to check my amenities here in a second. Let's do the monument. And then you were hooking up this, please. It's going to give us a couple extra gold. Can't go wrong with that. We got 2 turns left on the aid request here. Still nowhere near enough to catch up with her, but we could get silver. Get us a little bit of Diplo favor, I suppose. Plus, it might make him happy with us. And getting the Kree on our side as an ally is usually a pretty good idea. Alright, builder. Already got the plantation here, right? Yes. Do want farms around this over here. Just don't know if that's like a critical, like, let's do that now thing. Obviously, we want to move up to these niter at some point. We should expand out to those soon enough. So I'm thinking about putting the farm over here, maybe. I mean, it's saying a farm over there, but honestly, over here at least gets us next to our observatory. +4. Plus, we're getting the double adjacency, aren't we? So that's +8. If we put another farm, or 2 farms down here, that'll get us up to 5, which is 10. And then we can put 2 more, which will get us 6, which would be 12. That's a lot of science. Yep, let's do the farms over here. I think that is very critical. Get the farms out as soon as possible. First technology of new era. Are we... Still don't know. It could be as soon as 11 turns, which I have a feeling we will be in a dark age. Maintain 4 trade routes. We are going to be able to finish that. Okay. Before I hit next turn, let's go check out our city statuses. A bunch of happies, 1 ecstatic. So we definitely need to try and get some resources from somebody, which easier said than done. We just don't know enough people. We got to find more people to be able to get some good resources from them. I mean, I think it's very unlikely that any of these guys are going to trade me their resources. Who's the strongest? Probably Zulu. Can we convince Zulu to give me their pearls? They're happy with me, and they might need some iron and stuff. If I take your pearls. I mean, he's basically saying just no, never, right? If I give you dyes to replace the pearls, and then give you some iron, let's give you 40 iron or something, and a bunch of gold. I just never gonna happen. All right, fair enough. We do want to go ahead and send some money to you, although I think we can wait till next turn, and that should be okay. Although it's still not going to be enough to cap out the top spot, but maybe we can take 2nd place. Trading post created. I don't know if I really care which religion ends up swooping into our territory or not. I mean, maybe I should, but I just don't know that I feel like I care right this second. You just finished building a builder. It's definitely going to help us out a lot. Build another city or district, which I do want to do at some point. We are currently housing capped though, so let's go ahead and knock out the granary, get that taken care of. And then you, I mean, I could put a lumber mill down somewhere. Obviously, we want to expand out to the niter at some point, which I think will happen anyway. I mean, do I want to put a lumber mill here? Probably, because our campus is probably going to be up in one of these spots with farms nearby, so probably okay to put the builder or the lumber mill here. Trade routes. Any particular type of trade route we care about right now? I think just gold is fine. None of the city-states appear to want these trade routes specifically. So yeah, let's just go to Geneva. Why not? And Mr. Builder here. So we do have 2 farms already. We can plop down 2 more farms next to this observatory. I mean, this tile's not bought yet, but coming over here, chopping down the jungle, putting a farm there. That'll help this one over here as well, so that's probably a pretty good idea. Still gotta keep an eye on printing. So I definitely want those observatory or those universities. Popping this stuff down. We should be able to make quite a bit of gold as the Maya because of the extra gold we get from our farms. Lots of stuff that can be improved over here. Oh, did I forget to send him money? I probably did. Oh, let's go say science because that is who we're trading with at the moment. And then just we'll say us because why not? It's religious and an unmet player. Of course it is.
Blisters is not gold.
Gold from envoys, theater adjacency, housing with at least 3 special districts. Probably will eventually move over to something like that. Angkor Wat actually is pretty good. I still feel like this is useful because we're still building builders. So I still feel like this is actually what we want to do at the moment. I mean, this one could be useful. I don't think we don't have 3 special districts yet in most, if any, of our cities. Maybe our capital, but so it's not really going to help us right this second. Is it too late? It is too late. I forgot. It's not the end of the world. I may actually, honestly, would just prefer to have my food, or my gold, I mean. Honestly, the biggest reason I was going to send it to him was to try to make him a little bit happy with us. So I'm not really that bummed out that I forgot to send it to him. So, yeah, it's not a big deal. Would have been nice, but oh well. Yeah, building encampment would get us the boost for that at least. 10 pop. I mean, we just really don't have anything right now. We're just going to have to kind of start researching something and maybe swap off of it if we think we can get the boost. I mean, we're going to get to 10 pop eventually. We're a ways away from it now. The closest is, what, 7 up there? So we are ways away, but we will eventually get there. Audience chamber is done. Is it time to go ahead and just finish off the watermill? We have plenty of housing in our capital. Wow. Tons of housing. I mean, do we want to focus on like growth just to kind of get that capital just growing as much as possible? I kind of feel like that's the right move. Let's go ahead and do the watermill. I think we need to go wide on the governors just because of the building that we just got in our governor palace. So let's go ahead and grab probably Victor. And he needs to be in one of our cities that we care about a little bit more than others. Probably this one up here, just because it's the next highest on population, so it's going to get the most benefit. Yeah, let's go ahead and send him up there to Kalakmul. Kalakmul? And you need to run away. Alright, you're going to go ahead and drop us a lumber mill here, please and thank you. Shaved a whole turn off of that water, aqueduct, which is pretty good. All right, so we got one farm. We definitely want to do the other farm up here. That'll give us a whole full adjacency. So let's do that. Looks like we are, yeah, we only got 9 turns left. We are absolutely going to be in a dark age, which is fine, because if we can then swing in and get a heroic age after that, that would be really, really awesome. Yeah, okay. I think we're okay for now. I don't even think we have the stuff to build universities yet, do we? We'll have to focus on that here in a moment. Yeah, Victoria wants... It's possible I could have still given some money and gotten credit because we hadn't gotten the pop-up for this yet. I don't think so, though. And again, it's not the end of the world. I'd probably actually just rather have my money for myself anyway. If we could have won, I would have felt worse about it because that would have given us 2 Diplo points. But because the best we could do was second place, which, yeah, sure, that's some Diplo favor, but I think I'd rather have the gold than Diplo favor right about now. All right. I haven't quite expanded that yet. I mean, I could buy out to this tile, but in theory, we're going to be expanding out to that tile automatically at some point. I could chop these woods down with the idea that we are going to put an observatory up here somewhere, and we're going to want a farm nearby. Probably put the observatory... if we put the observatory here, we'd have farm... No, we only have 1 farm. We could have another district, but that's about it. If we put the observatory here, same kind of thing. We'd have this plus 2 farms and then, you know, technically a district. We just wouldn't be able to put the extra district down. Honestly, both of these I think end up being the same adjacency. Unless there's some sort of adjacent... I mean, we don't get adjacency for this, do we? We've already established that, right? We only get the adjacency from the farms and stuff. Yeah. Okay. So I don't think it really matters one way or the other. Probably put the observatory here. And the reason I say that is because we can put farms on both of these already. We cannot put a farm on the hill yet. So saving the hill for something else is probably okay. Alternatively, we could put the observatory up here. Still gets us the plantation. Gets us a district, 2 farms. So in the end, that still ends up being the same thing. So it really doesn't help me anymore, other than the fact that it could help this observatory out a little bit. But we could just put a farm there, and that'll help that observatory out in the same manner. So I really don't think there's any difference one way or another where we put this observatory, unless I'm just missing something. I think it all, the best we are going to get is 3 adjacency no matter where we stick it. Yeah, okay. So let's come up here and let's chop down, I say chop down, but let's get rid of this to make room for the observatory, because we are going to want to do that here after the aqueduct. And then we can probably chop down these woods or something like that and make room for a farm and stuff. All right, so you're going to get rid of this to be able to put a farm here. Please and thank you. It does give us an extra pot, which is actually really useful. You're going to drop down the farm here. We're currently at 8. This should put us at 10. There we go. It's good. It's awesome. I love it. This is actually a fun civilization. I mean, it's a little weird. It's only fun because we got this set up like this. Had we not gotten all these cities set up the way that I kind of wanted them to be, I'd probably be miserable right about now, because it'd be like, oh, it's so hard to get anything going. But because we actually, I mean, you know, only way to say it is we lucked out in a sense. You know, the RNG went our favor. Sorry, clicking my armrest, kind of got out of position. So, you know, it's just the way it is. We got in a good situation. Housing is great here. We don't need the aqueduct right now. I mean, we may want to plan for where the aqueduct would end up being at some point, but I just don't feel like the urgency to do it right this second. Getting a little extra food would help us grow faster. We do have plenty of housing, so this could be useful. Plus, it gets us the production. Sooner you get the watermill, usually the better. Monument also pretty good, although I'm not feeling like the city needs to grow to too many more tiles, honestly. So there's only a couple more tiles it can grow into that makes a benefit. So I don't know that other than the culture. I mean, culture is obviously great. We want culture, but it doesn't feel as critical. Do want the commercial hubs though. That is pretty important. And actually, commercial hub here effectively serves the same purpose as farm here, because it's a district adjacent to our campuses. Yes. Or observatories, I should say. I don't remember if this is where I was planning on putting it, but since I don't have the farm yet and I've already cleared the jungle, I like that a lot. It's going to give us +3. Nope. I think it's great. I mean, the only one thing about the commercial up here is that it itself is only going to have adjacency from 2 districts. It does not get the benefit of being adjacent to farms, obviously. But still, I can't imagine we're going to do much better than +3. I mean, +4 is potential somewhere, but not very likely. So we'll go with that. We could put a district here instead of a farm, which would help this out a little bit, although since it's only 1 district, it actually wouldn't help us out that much. Unless we clear this thing out and put a district there as well. All right. Monument is done. I don't feel the need to put walls down right away. Again, we're going to want commercial hubs in basically all of these cities. Really not a good commercial hub site anywhere. Probably just put commercial hubs on hills, since we can't put... since we're not going to be able to put farms on hills right away. So that's not hills, is it? It's just plains. And we can put the commercial up here. I don't think there's anywhere else that we can put it next to this to give benefit. Or put it anywhere that gets a benefit for itself. So I think the commercial up here is probably okay. We could put it over here with the knowledge that eventually these are going to be mines. That's not... yeah, that is a mine, sorry. That would be a mine. This would be a mine. So we could put an industrial zone over here, which would be pretty useful. I mean, we could also just put a mine here, which helped that industrial zone as well, to be fair. Which in that case, maybe a commercial hub up there to be next to the industrial zone. And surround it with mines. It'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 mines. Okay, that'd be an odd number of mines anyway, which we wouldn't get benefit from all 5 of those. We'd only get benefit from 4 of them. Right? I'm not making that up. Industrial zone, it's every 2 mines, I believe. It's right up here, isn't it? 2 from aqueduct, or 2 from dams, 2 from baths, 2 from... I forgot it got 2 from aqueducts. That's awesome. Too bad we can't put an aqueduct up there. 1 for every 2 adjacent mines. That's actually 1 for each adjacent strategic resource, which does 2 strategic resources. So we would actually get 1, 2, and then 2 for the 2 mines here. Or 1 for the 2 mines there, I should say. That's pretty awesome. But it only gets 1 for every 2 adjacent districts. So in that context, putting the district here would only help us if we put a district up there as well, which could still happen. All right, I like it. Let's put the commercial hub here. Technically get +1 there, but then we lose 2 gold, which seems like a silly thing to do. So commercial hub there. We want the commercial hub at some point, and that I think will help our industrial zone. In fact, I'm actually going to go ahead and make sure I pin on the map that this is going to be an industrial zone. That is the plan. And then this will be some sort of district, neighborhood or something. All right, I like it. You've already got industrial or commercial hub coming in here. So we do need something else with you. Okay, so you're going to have two districts, 2 farms, and a plantation. So putting something here gives us no benefit whatsoever, because it would just be an oddball. Okay, what about here? We got 2 farms, 2 districts, plantation. This also doesn't really help us with anything. I mean, a district would probably be the best because it would help the... well, actually it wouldn't, because that'd be an oddball as well. Yeah. So district here could help these, but I think it adds up to not being that helpful. Potentially. I'd have to think about that one. What are you putting here? You put a commercial hub there, which seems okay. Alright, let's check over... I don't know, let's check over here. There's your government plaza, right? Yes. And then where's your... Oh, yours is one of these 2, that's right. I'm going to come over and hook up the quarry. Would give us a decent amount of production right about now. I have 4 builds left with you because you came out... Actually, why do I have 4 builds with you? I actually don't know. Normal, oh, that's right. It's the normal 3 plus the 2. So that's 5 total we had. I thought I already used 2 of them. And I was thinking, how did you get 6? But no, we've only used 1 so far. We can also come over and help out this city, which probably would be a really good idea. Hooking up some lumber mills wouldn't be bad. I'd want to make sure that we're doing lumber mills where we don't plan on putting anything else. I mean, we know we're going to keep the horses, and we know we're going to... I said we know. We're probably going to keep the cows. Probably. Would like to get these 2 tiles, because if I'm going to put an observatory here next to this plantation, I would want these 2 to be farms. That's already a farm. We can put a farm there as well. So buying out to these tiles feels pretty useful, although the city-state probably will put some farms down for us to help us out. And I think we still get the adjacency for other countries or others, you know, other things, adjacencies, because I feel like we usually do that, get those adjacencies for district placements and stuff. It's a toughie. I mean, I could clear out these cows. I think the horses are staying no matter what. So let's go hook up the horses. That's not, I think that's not, it may not be the best choice right this second, but it's not a wrong choice. Let's put it that way. Okay, so we do know when to put 2 more farms here, or districts, but I think in this context it would be farms because they are flat land. So we're going to blop over here. We're going to chop down that jungle.
Then weave a web of the mystic
Go bustin'.
From the
Go
depths
bustin'.
of the sky and the ends of the earth. Come,
This is new? This got to be new, right? Because I don't
light and of pleasure.
think I've ever seen this
Fill
one.
the dance and the music of mirth.
Not a bad one, actually. Lots of culture. All right. I think we have a plan. I mean, lots of builders running around trying to just get everything settled the way that we want them to be. All right, speaking of builders, this builder is absolutely going to be swinging out here. hook this up, which does give us some housing, which is awesome. Not a lot of housing, so these aren't necessarily maybe as good as a farm, but I wanted to get these two to get the boost. Although I don't want the boost until we switch over to the next era. So, which I know I'm going to forget, but I'm going to try and remember not to flip over yet. We do have a couple things already boosted now. We just can't get to them at the moment. How do we not have 3 different specialty districts already? Commercial hub. Commercial hub is going to be the 3rd. Because we have the aqueduct. We have the government plaza. We have the observatory. We're about to get either a commercial hub or an aqueduct. Either one of those would get us the boost. So let's start working on metal casting, which we could get boosted because of having 2 crossbowmen. In fact, let's go ahead. I think that is well worth a little bit of money here. Let's go ahead and boost both of these. Let's get that thing boosted, be done with it, have that locked in. I like it. Oh, except I should have undone that. I should not have done that because I could have saved that second one for 5 more turns or whatever it is. 6 more turns to get the boost in the next era. That's okay. I'll try to remember to do these other ones the right way. All right, builder is done. We do want to plop down another observatory down here somewhere. Probably here. There are no plantations near this city, so we're not going to be able to get the benefit of that, but we can completely surround this with farms. This one would not be able to get a farm right away because of the hill, but eventually we would be able to put a farm there. So I think that is our best bet, because we know these two are going to be farms. I don't think we've planned your observatory yet, have we? Actually, that could be just your observatory there. Almost completely surrounded by farms as well. And still be a pretty good adjacency. We'll figure out yours in a second, but I definitely think the observatory here. Do I just want to buy that tile? I think so. I think we want the observatory here. It's going to be completely surrounded by farms. Other than maybe, like I said, an observatory or some other district. You still don't have your observatory. You do have plantations over here. We can actually double dip the plantations and then put farms all around, or districts, like I said. We could also come up here. There's 2 plantations there. That would also be an alternative. I mean, I don't think either plantation's good. I mean, either one of them is going to be the same as the other. So I think here is fine. We would have to buy that tile. Just spending all of our money, but I think it's well worth it. No, it's not well worth it yet. Let's get our builder over there to chop that, because we do want to take advantage of the chopping and the growth. So for the moment, let's just spend a turn or two. Oh, we got to get the granary out anyway. All right, you are chopping this. This does put us over on housing by quite a lot, but we're about to get a big chunk of housing here in a few turns anyway. So I think that works out for us. You were chopping this to put a farm. So I'm double checking, like, everything, you know, make sure I'm doing the right things. That looks good. All right, well, that is time. Goodness, time flies when you're having fun. We're about to get our very first commercial hub in 1 turn. That is great. Which would be our 3rd district. It's going to get us a boost before we're ready for it, to be fair, but otherwise we're just going to be sitting on science for no reason. You know, we got to get these things rolling. So I think that's going to be okay. But, yeah, anyway, I do appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye.